had done a couple big events around helping members learn about artificial intelligence, learn about AI, be able to leverage a lot of the tools that are associated with AI and in the marketplace right now that you often hear about. And what we heard from our members over and over and over again is that members are curious about AI, but overwhelmed by the options. Many didn't know where to start. And we wanted to bridge that gap quickly. So we designed a solution that would provide instant clarity and remove that noise. Because again, it's not as though there's resistance to AI. It's not as though there's a lot of confusion about the impact of AI. Everyone recognizes this is here to stay. It can be absolutely a game changer in my business. I know I should be integrating it. None of that is in question. The question is, which tools are most well suited to overcome my issues?
The next wave of business leaders won't just use AI, they'll master momentum with it, starting now. Welcome to the Mastering AI Momentum Show, where visionary founders and driven business leaders turn artificial intelligence, automation, and scalable systems into real growth, real scale, and real freedom. If you're ready to break bottlenecks, reclaim your title, and scale smarter, this is your playbook. Let's dive in. Here are your hosts, Allie Porter and Elise Smith.
Welcome to the Mastering AI Momentum Show, where today's top entrepreneurs share how they're scaling smarter, evolving faster, and navigating the future of business with or without AI. I'm Elise Smith, and I am here with my amazing co-host, Allie Porter.
Hey, everyone.
And today we are joined by Linda Fisk. Now, Linda Fisk is a multi-award winning CEO, TEDx speaker, 6-time international best-selling author, U.S. Senator for the WBAF, TV producer, and podcast host, keynote speaker, and university professor dedicated to amplifying and extending the success of other high-caliber business leaders. She's amazing, guys, like seriously. She is the chairwoman of LeadHERship Global, a community of unstoppable women enhancing their leadership blueprint and embracing their power to be the best version of themselves in work and in life. We can tell you firsthand, this community is incredible and you need to be part of it. Yes, absolutely. In LeadHERship Global, Linda supports and guides ambitious, creative women to move in the direction of their purpose, their mission, and their dreams with powerful connections, critical support, practical tools, and valuable resources to show up, speak up, and step up their careers and personal lives. I love it, Linda. We're so excited to have you here today.
Thank you guys so much. Allie and Elise, it's such a pleasure and a privilege to be a part of your platform. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk about leadership, scaling, artificial intelligence, how those things all weave together. And I tell you, it could not be a more exciting time to be a woman in leadership and to be at the helm of a business, because I tell you, everything is happening so quickly. Change is happening at a blistering pace, which if you're a lifetime learner, this is all really good news because it's really exciting to see the pace of change happening in everyone's business.
Amen. Amen. It's been fascinating to watch how everything has shifted and evolved so quickly. And it's crazy because when I found you, Linda, it was a total God thing, honestly, because I don't even know how it happened, really. It was just kind of like one thing led to another. But I was so grateful to be able to find you guys and to be able to really realize that there was people out there like us who love to learn, love to grow, love to be in leadership and all the things. And then once you're bringing AI into it, which we'll talk about that in a little bit, but it was just so refreshing to be able to find a place to be able to go with people like-minded, right?
Allie,
So,
you've been such an incredible contribution to the community because this really is where women of extraordinary accomplishment come together for growth. And that's growth that transcends titles. It's really a private, curated community committed to purpose, profit, and personal legacy. It's not just another network. It's really a trusted circle of women leaders. These are founders, executives, entrepreneurs, and visionaries who believe that success is more than just status. Leadership is about impact. And Allie, that is what you and Elise are about. Leadership that creates impact. So I feel like in LeadHERship Global, that's where you find the kind of high caliber relationships, the kind of expert insights and personal personalized support that every single woman in positions of leadership needs to elevate every dimension of their journey, but now more than ever, because the pace of change is absolutely unprecedented. And you and Elise have done so much to provide insight and expertise and experience for other women who are struggling with AI. So your contribution has been unbelievable, and I'm so grateful to you.
Thank you. I mean, just keep it coming. No, I'm just kidding. No, I love that. I love that. So Linda, thank you so much for just all your kind words. Holy cow. It's just every time that we get together, I'm just like, oh, I just love it. So I want to back up a little bit. I want to kind of take everybody back a little ways. So how did you even decide to get started in this business? Like, what was it that triggered you and helped you to see, like, this is the path that I want to go? Entrepreneurship, women empowerment, like all of that stuff. What was it that really was the catalyst for that?
Well, I will say that I had the incredible good fortune of serving as the chief marketing officer as well as the chief executive officer for two leadership organizations prior to LeadHERship Global. And in both of those experiences, I really learned the kind of transformational power that's accessible to you when you bring leaders together to solve common problems, to be able to transcend any of the obstacles or roadblocks that they may be facing, to be able to create a pathway through some of the most daunting issues that we face in our communities, in our businesses, and in our personal lives. And when I had that experience of the kind of transformational power that's within everyone's grasp through community, I was hooked. I was absolutely hooked. But in those other two organizations where I served as either the chief marketing officer or the chief executive officer, I found that often women did not feel valued. They didn't feel heard. They didn't feel seen. They felt marginalized. They felt demeaned. And it's not through any kind of intentional bias. And I would say it's not even due to any kind of intentional or overt discrimination. It's just that women need a different kind of environment to really thrive. And in fact, research has recently borne out that women do much better in close, intimate, small circles, as well as huge mass market communities. So what we tried to do in LeadHERship Global is really learn from the research and my prior experience and give women a safe haven, give them a place where they can feel seen, they can feel heard, they feel valued, respected, cared for, and they have the opportunity to thrive. So we very specifically curate small groups, small communities, from leadership boards to masterminds to workshops to now circles. And it's intentionally designed to foster deep, trusted relationships with a highly curated circle of accomplished women peers. So these are women who will deeply invest in each other's success. And so LeadHERship Global was built based on the insight from my prior to C-suite experiences and from the feedback of women who said that in these mass market communities, they can feel lost, they can feel like they're invisible, they can feel like what they're doing doesn't stack up against others, they can feel minimized, they can feel invisible. And so we wanted to create a community where everyone felt valued and felt included. We don't believe in waiting lists, closed doors, or narrow definitions of success. Our members reflect very diverse industries, backgrounds, and even stages of leadership, from corporate executives to entrepreneurs, board members to nonprofit founders. And what we try to do is ensure that every single member receives customized support aligned to her unique vision. It could be executive coaching, confidential advisory groups, maybe it's targeted introductions or board preparation, but every single woman is seen and heard.
Yeah. And I completely agree with that. I mean, that's how it was for us. Like, we came in and you were like, oh, I need you to connect you with this person. I need you to connect with this person. And I always felt like you had our back. Like, I always felt like you were like, I want your business to succeed. I want the other people's businesses to succeed. And it's not so much also about the businesses, it's about the people, right? It's about connecting with the people and building those relationships, because business is based on relationships. relationships, right? And so I think that that is the perfect example of what you're doing for sure. So I appreciate that. Thank you for kind of giving us the background a little bit. Elise, you want to take it away with the scaling part? Because this is the part that I actually don't know. So I'm actually curious to see how that all goes. So go ahead, Elise.
Yeah, absolutely. And I completely agree with what Ali was saying about you, Linda, and what you've created. I can't remember if you call it a roadmap, but what is it that you do with every single member that comes in?
We try to blend business mastery with personal well-being, with spiritual alignment, with legacy building. We try to create space for growth professionally, personally, and purposefully. And the best way to begin that journey is by listening. So every single member of LeadHERship Global is invited to take a diagnostic. It's a quick 15-minute assessment that really helps outline your 5-year vision, your 3-year goals, your 1-year objectives, how you track and measure success, and really your own personal definition of what success looks like. And then we really work with every single woman to determine, where are your roadblocks? Where are your obstacles? Where do you feel stuck? Where do you need support and help? And then we literally craft for them what we call a strategic review and a membership roadmap, where we outline for them the steps, very time-bound, very action-oriented steps that they can take to grow and scale their business and to take advantage of the privileges, benefits, and opportunities of membership. So we very purposefully kind of go out on a limb and say, based on what it is that you're trying to achieve, have you thought about licensing your program? Have you thought about growing and scaling your business in a way that you haven't considered? Maybe you should be doing group programs. Maybe you should be doing online courses. Maybe you should think about a licensing structure for your business. But we try to ensure that every single woman is seen and heard, and that we begin with what they're trying to accomplish, right?
Absolutely. And you have a very large organization. Like your members are not that small when it comes to the members that you have. So that's really what stood out to me the most, is that you actually take the time with each member to be able to get to know them and build out that customized roadmap. So before we move on to the scaling story, I just really wanted to point that out to everyone who's watching or listening. You need to check out LeadHERship Global, because you're not just another number, as you might feel like in some other networks. So I just wanted to give you a shout out, because I love
Thank you.
what you're
I'm
doing.
so grateful for that, Elise. I appreciate
Absolutely.
that. Thank you.
Yeah. So let's talk about your scaling story. So once the foundation was really in place for your business, what were the big moves that you did to really accelerate your growth in your company?
Yeah, I will tell you that this is for us very much of a balancing act, because when you join a community, it is a personal and a professional decision. And as I said, we didn't want anyone to join LeadHERship Global and feel like a number. Listen, the women that we work with, they're leading companies, they're building businesses, they're serving on boards, they're shaping communities, but they also want to grow. They want to develop. They want to feel as though someone is investing in their success in a personal and professional way. So we could have chosen to scale the organization through video and through lead funnels and through automations and things like that. And we have done that to some degree, but we try to balance that with very much of a white glove touch as well. These are women who want to be seen and heard as individuals, as leaders, as impact makers, as change makers. And so hearing their story and understanding their vision is really important to us. So we had to really balance automation and all of the systems and processes that we now have available to us as business owners, with the opportunities to still get to know the individual stories of each and every one of our members. So we think we've done a good job of that. But of course, we're always asking for feedback. Is it too much automation, or is it too much time investment in personal conversation? Do we have that balance right or not? And so we're always looking for feedback. Now, listen, when someone joins, for sure, the very first thing that we ask them to do is to complete a diagnostic, an assessment, which forces them to really put in writing what it is that they're trying to achieve. And just the exercise of being able to write out exactly what they're trying to achieve in and of itself can be a really, really powerful and important important first step to commit in writing what you're trying to achieve, and then being able to walk through that with someone else and receive real-time feedback and access to resources and tools and connections right then. Again, we think that that is really important part of the journey, is to have a one-on-one 30-minute conversation. But then we do rely on automation to help with much of the onboarding. They have access to an onboarding page, onboarding videos. There's all kinds of things that we begin to layer in that help us onboard the 10,000 members that are part of LeadHERship Global. Because while we do have a staff to do those very personalized, tailored 30-minute conversations about the vantage point, we want them also to feel as though we're not a bottleneck. We're not delaying their onboarding till someone has the time to have a conversation with them. So we do automate much of the other processes so that people feel as though the organization is timely, responsive, and they can take action right now, the moment they join.
Yes. And the phrase that comes to mind is high touch, high tech, right? It's that automation and being able to bring in the technology, but still keeping the heart of who you are as the founder of LeadHERship Global, and also what kind of values you want your community to have. And I think you've just done such a beautiful job of balancing that, especially because I think people are concerned about that. When you bring in high tech, it seems like the high touch goes down. So if someone's struggling with this in their own business, of being able to be both high tech and high touch, what kind of advice would you give them, Linda?
You know, the very first thing that we started with, which I think is so important, is to ask the question, what really matters to you? What is it that you're really looking for? How would you like this to be designed? What would make you feel cared for, listened to, heard? What kind of opportunities are most important to you? And we start by asking our members. They're brilliant women who can design for us a onboarding process, for instance, that really is catered to, tailored to, personalized to what women want and need. So we don't begin in some sort of ivory tower removed from our members. We begin by asking them what matters most to you. And what we heard is, I don't want to join an organization and then feel like a number, feel lost, feel like I don't know how to make the most out of the membership that I've committed to. I want to feel like I can be a resource. I can be someone that others can turn to. I want to share my knowledge. I want to share my expertise, but I also want to grow as a leader myself. So I want other people to listen to me. I want other people to be invested in my success. So we try to create, again, those small communities where women are seen and heard. We try to create opportunities for one-on-one connection with me or our staff of member concierge, our staff of ambassadors, our staff of directors. And then we also try to ensure that every single woman has at least 1 to 5 deep, rich relationships where we have personally introduced them to other women that are like-minded, that may be actively seeking their services, that may benefit from the kind of expertise that they offer. And we create those confidential connections because we know that women want to grow in community. But again, we would not have had those insights if we had not asked them, if we had not asked our members what's most important to you, and then very intentionally design an onboarding process and an ongoing membership experience that is aligned with what it is that they're interested in, what's most important to them. But you know, Elise, the other thing I would say is women will also tell you what's not important. We put a lot of time and effort in developing systems and processes and offerings that honestly our members didn't care about at all. And when we got that feedback that they're like, it's a nice to have, but it's not really important to me, I was like, oh my gosh, why are we pouring so much time, so much effort, so many resources in these offerings that no one cares about? Well, the first thing we did is reallocate resources. We stopped doing a lot of things so we could start doing other things that are more aligned with what our members care about and what they value.
That is such a huge aha. Like, I hope everyone is listening to that, because that applies to any business that you're in. Like, listen to what your people want and then give it to them. Like that is number one, right? But it's so funny how we think that our business should be like a certain way. And we think, oh, this is what they're going to want. So then we go build it and then we sell it, but it doesn't actually work that way. Like you have to pay attention to what your people want. And that's one thing, Linda, that your team has done so well with. And I will tell you, again, the caliber of women and the connections that we've made are just astronomical. Like it's just been such a blessing. And the more that you pour into something, the more you're going to get out of it. So just FYI on that. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, Elise. Keep going. But so good.
No, it's wonderful. I love this conversation because it's just raw and real, right? Like no one likes to admit that they spent some time or quite a bit of time on something that their members or audience didn't really like. But I like the fact that you're willing to try it and then ask for feedback. I mean, that's just such a simple concept. Ask for feedback. And we forget that sometimes. So,
and I will tell you, I feel like a lot of times, unfortunately, we become very, very enamored with whatever we've created. And we think if they are not participating in this or they're not taking advantage of this, it must be that they don't understand it. It must be that they don't get it. It must be that I just need to shout louder. I just need to be more visible with this offering. I need to explain it in a different, better way. But the truth of the matter is, it's not how loud we shout. It's not how much we want someone to take advantage of it. If our audience is not taking advantage of a privilege or benefit that we think is amazing and they don't, that is the most valuable market feedback that you can receive. That clearly gives you a good roadmap for what you can stop doing. Listen, if it's not selling, if people are not saying yes, if people are not signing up, if people are not registering, if people are not engaging, that is wonderful, wonderful feedback. But you need to pay attention to it, not become so enamored with what you've created that you think, oh, I just need to shout louder. I just need to say it more times. I just need to tell people in a different way. I need to get ChatGTP to write something for me so people pay attention to me. It's not that. It's that you could be creating something that honestly isn't aligned with the values, the needs, the wants of your audience.
The last thing I'll say before Elise dives into the AI side. So one thing that we say here a lot is not just artificial intelligence, but it's authenticity and impact, right? And I feel like for you, that is what you're focused on, is authenticity and impact. And artificial intelligence has its place, but when you can be authentic, when you can have that ability to pivot when you need to, and the ability to like not treat people as numbers and just all the things we've talked about, that's where the true impact comes in. Again, it's just so beautiful to watch. So I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's get into AI then. So I know you've got some fun things that are coming up for you, but tell us like your present of how you're using AI or other systems and where AI is going to take you next, because we kind of already know a little bit and we're excited.
Yeah, I love that, Elise. So I will say, again, Allie and Elise know much about this, but I will tell you one of the most important aspects of listening, which is what we just talked about, is we had done a couple big events around helping members learn about artificial intelligence, learn about AI, be able to leverage a lot of the tools that are associated with AI and in the marketplace right now that you often hear about. And what we heard from our members over and over and over again is that members are curious about AI, but overwhelmed by the options. Many didn't know where to start. And we wanted to bridge that gap quickly. So we designed a solution that would provide instant clarity and remove that noise. Because again, it's not as though there's resistance to AI. It's not as though there's a lot of confusion about the impact of AI. Everyone recognizes this is here to stay. It can be absolutely a game changer in my business. I know I should be integrating it. None of that is in question. The question is, which tools are most well suited to overcome my issues? So the goal was to empower members to take action without needing a tech background, an AI degree, or a consultant to necessarily guide them through some of the initial decision making. So we structured the tool around 10 core challenges that are faced by women in leadership, whether you're an entrepreneur or you're a C-suite executive. Some of those core challenges are things like expanding my visibility, scaling my business, finding an efficient, effective marketing strategy, even the integration of automation. And every challenge is linked to a small set of curated AI tools that we vetted for both usefulness and accessibility. And we use ChatGPT to help us categorize those tools, to help us describe those tools, and to help match these tools to the individual challenges that most women in leadership are facing right now. So the tool itself isn't necessarily generative AI. So there's not AI embedded in the survey experience itself, but AI was used to help identify AI tools, categorize those AI tools, describe those AI tools, and users get to see their results instantly on screen or by email. It's simple, but it's incredibly effective because, again, we are asking women to describe the biggest challenges that they're facing in their business. And then based on those challenges, we give them a very personalized, curated list of AI tools that will help solve those challenges. And we intentionally chose to keep the first version of the tool static so we could get it into the members' hands quickly. It allowed us to validate the structure and the categories before investing in more complex functionality. But the feedback that we've been hearing is amazing because, again, we're solving a problem that we first heard from our members, which is you don't have to sell me on the importance of AI. You don't even have to sell me on how to use AI. What you have to sell me on is which tool is best formulated and created based on the problems I'm trying to solve. So we tried to make the experience simple and actionable by grouping all the tools into 4 clear categories and then matching the issues and the problems and obstacles that women are having with the tools that are best aligned with solving those problems.
So powerful. And I bet your members just love that about your community as well. There's another thing to love because it is confusing. And I know for us, we do have tools that we use for sure. And we focus more on like building out full AI agents kind of at that enterprise level. But it doesn't matter where you're at. There is an AI tool, there is an AI system, there is an AI agent for everyone. And it's just really understanding what that perfect fit is. So love what you're doing. That's so, so cool.
And I will say, as you said, there's a tool for everything. So for instance, many of our members are really focused on marketing and visibility, right? They want to create an efficient, effective marketing strategy, and they want to raise their visibility and extend their thought leadership. Well, we have tools to help our members get noticed and publish faster with higher quality content. And Jasper is great for AI copywriting. Think emails, blog posts, captions. Lumen 5 turns blog content into professional looking videos literally in minutes. Descript is a video editor that works like a word processor. It can help you delete words and it can actually delete video footage. And then Copy AI helps create everything from bios to marketing emails, again, with just a few prompts. So part of what we try to do is get very clear on what the challenge is, and then we give them the AI tools that can help them overcome that challenge.
So cool because you've listened to your members and you know what they're looking for. So
Yes.
That's powerful, powerful stuff. Well, good. And I know you also, we'll just take a couple more minutes here, but can you give us kind of a sneak peek of where AI is going to go next in your business?
Yeah, so we are creating a member matching tool, and we're really, really excited about this. We're hoping to launch in the next quarter. And what this does is it literally reads the entire LinkedIn profile and the entire Vantage Point diagnostic, as well as the growth and scale diagnostic that every single member has access to, right? So we ask them to take the Vantage Point when they first join, and then the growth and scale assessment as they become a member. And so we have all of that data about where they are in the growth and scale trajectory and what the biggest challenges that they're facing, as well as their LinkedIn profile. We create sort of an amalgamation of all that information, member by member by member. And then we say, okay, so Allie is an expert in all things AI. And do you know that Sally says that that's her biggest challenge? So I'm going to match Allie and Sally because Allie can explain all of the necessary information associated with solving problems through AI. And that is Sally's biggest weakness. That's exactly what she said she needs help with. So by matching those two members, there will be an exchange of value that is incredibly useful and helpful to both of them. So we are creating that member matching system based on aligned values, aligned industries, but really the big aha moment for the members that are being matched will be connecting people with what they need with someone who has that solution. And we really think that this is going to be a game changer because members will be matched based on a value exchange between those two members.
So cool. I love it. And we're excited to help you really in any way that we can with that. We've got some really good, amazing AI tools and ideas that we've got going on for that exact solution. So love it. Well, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for being with us, Linda. You have just brought so much to the table here today, and I'm sure you've given people a lot to think about. So definitely check out LeadHERship Global. In fact, if they want to find out more about what you're doing and how they can join LeadHERship Global, where do they go?
The best place is LinkedIn. So if you go to LinkedIn and you look me up, Linda Fisk, or you look up LeadHERship Global, you're going to be able to find lots of ways to connect with either me or my team immediately. And we are super responsive on LinkedIn or email, but LinkedIn is accessible to everyone. So I always say, drop me a note on LinkedIn and you'll get an answer within a day.
Awesome. And it'll be from Linda because she answers all of her messages.
Yes,
She's amazing. She's a superwoman.
Thanks so much for tuning in to Mastering AI Momentum, where AI means artificial intelligence, but also means authenticity and impact, which we talked about. So because scaling isn't about doing more, it's about building smarter and staying true to what matters most. And that's what we do here. And Linda, you're a perfect example of that. So thank you so much. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Thank you so much, Allie.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
You've been listening to Mastering AI Momentum. If today's episode gave you clarity or sparked a breakthrough, share it, review it, leave us a comment, and show Allie and Elise how you're turning AI into ROI. And make sure you subscribe, because the next episode could be the strategy that unlocks your next level. Until then, build smart, scale fast, and let AI multiply your momentum.